We're back with Wave 22 this time. This time we're taking a look at the Federation USS Valiant. It's another Defiant-class ship. And it's another one I borrowed from a friend of mine. So we're missing our generic captain as well as our tokens. We got everything else. We're going to get right in and take a look. There we have our standard Defiant-class dial. Same one that we've gotten in the past. Nothing new there. We have our Defiant-class maneuver card. Same thing that was on the previous Defiant named ship there. That one come about in there that's kind of nice. And white hard corners all around there. Pretty decent. Tops out at that 4, which is pretty standard. There we have our named USS Valiant. 3 attack, 2 agility, 3 hull, 4 shield. 1 tech upgrade, 1 weapon upgrade, 3 crew upgrades, which is nice. 24 points. Standard Federation layout of evasive, target lock, scan, and battle stations. And our named ability is, when attacking with photon torpedoes during the roll attack dice step, you may discard the photon torpedoes to gain an additional +1 attack die. Pretty nice option. Most of the time torpedoes end up being a one-shot weapon anyway if you do use them. Most people don't spend the time or actions to bother rearming them. And the newer ones have those time tokens, but even then you're still down for 2 or 3 turns. So not terrible, but definitely there are better special abilities out there. Then we have our generic Defiant-class ship. You're losing 1 shield, losing a couple crew slots, but you're gaining an extra weapon slot in there for 22 points. For captains, we have Tim Watters. Captain skill of 4, 1 elite talent for 3 points. Adds an extra crew upgrade slot to your bar. As an action, you can remove all disable tokens from all of your crew upgrades. That's a really nice ability, especially in a Federation build. Granted, a 4 captain skill is kind of weak as far as Federation go, but that ability is really nice, especially with the crew-heavy builds that the Federation are known for. For our elite talents, we have Red Squadron, 5 points. At the start of the game, place a number of tokens, evasive, scan, and battle station on this card equal to the number of Federation crew upgrades assigned to your ship, up to a maximum of 4. During the activation phase, before performing your action, you may remove a token from on top of this card and place it beside your ship. This upgrade can only be purchased for a Federation captain assigned to a Federation ship. Basically, another way to get extra actions out of Federation, which is really nice. I like the fact that they used Red Squadron in the episode as well as in the cards here. It's kind of a throwback to the original Next Generation episode where Wesley Crusher was in the academy and ran into Red Squadron. Then they showed up again in Deep Space Nine in this episode. Again, it wouldn't be a Federation ship if it didn't come with a bunch of crewmen. Let's start off here with Faris. 4 points. When targeting an opposing ship with a photon or quantum torpedo secondary weapon, you may disable this card instead of spending your target lock. Very nice ability there. One of the main concerns about torpedoes is the fact that it takes you a target lock as well as disabling the weapon or time tokens on the weapon to fire. In this case, you can disable a crewman in place of those, use them again the next time without having to spend that target lock, which is really nice. It makes taking torpedoes almost worth it at that point. Next we have Dorian Colin. 2 points. If your ship suffers damage to its hull, you may immediately disable this card to repair 1 shield. Kind of an interesting ability. I like the fact that it's a disable to repair. The downside is you have to take hull damage, so you can only do this so many times before you run out of hull. But still a nice option to have in there at a reasonable points cost as well. Next we have Nog. 5 points. As an action, disable this card to repair 1 damage to your hull or shields. Or, if you execute a red maneuver, you can disable this card after skipping your perform action step to remove the auxiliary power token from beside your ship. So you have to do it after the action step, so you still lose your action for the turn, but it clears that auxiliary power right then, which is nice. I really like his usefulness for the first one here, though, of being able to repair damage to your hull or shields. Comes into play good with the previous card there, where we can repair a shield for free as soon as our hull takes damage. Then you can use Nog to repair that hull damage, and the two play off each other really well. Next we have Riley Aldrin Sheppard. 5 points. As an action, disable this card to perform an additional green maneuver with a speed of 1. Your ship cannot be target locked this round. If there's already a target lock on your ship, remove it. Definitely worth it alone for the ability to remove target locks. A action to perform the additional maneuver is nice on top of that. 5 points is a little steep, but he's a disable, so he's reusable. And for that ability alone to remove target locks, especially if you're playing against a ship with high attack numbers, they can really use those target locks to reroll and make those hits really hurt. Causing them to spend extra actions to reacquire target locks is definitely a nice ability. For weapon upgrades, we have standard photon torpedoes here. 5 points, attack value of 5, range 2 to 3. Spend your target lock and place 3 time tokens on this card to perform the attack. You may convert a battle station into a critical and can be fired from a front or rear arc. Pretty much standard photon torpedoes with the time token mechanic instead of the disable. Not hugely powerful, but decently effective when combined with the ship's named ability. Useful with our one crewman there that lets us disable her instead of spending our target lock, in which case you can either have your target lock open to use for something else, or even use it for the same attack to re-roll the dice and really make the torpedoes actually hit. The mission for this one is the Battle of El-Gatark. It's kind of an interesting one. It puts the Valiant up against a single Dominion ship. 40 points versus 40 points. Each ship is pretty much disabled at the beginning. You have a stack of 2 tokens on your left side, which are your power, and 3 tokens on your right side, which are your weapons. And there it discusses at the start of each turn, you basically can remove as an action, you can remove a token from either stack. Until your power is back online, you can't pick a maneuver more than 1. Until your weapons are online, you can't attack. You have to remove all the tokens from a stack in order to bring the system back online. Yeah, it's an interesting mission. And pretty much plays till one of the ships destroys the other one after that. Again, it's one I haven't played. It's not even one I own, so got a reason for it this time. Here we have our base for the named USS Valiant, 90-degree front arc, 90-degree rear arc, and our generic Defiant class with the same. As for the model, it's the nicer, more detailed version that we got with the Mirror Universe Defiant. Not the really cheap, non-detailed one that came with the original Defiant expansion pack. I think they learned their lesson on using those. They were the old cloaked model, so they didn't have nearly as much detail in them as the new ones. Decent paint job. I mean, they actually stayed in the lines, at least on this, compared to some of the other ones. But definitely needs some work to really make it stand out. Overall, it's a really nice pack. I always look at everything from a faction pure standpoint because that's what I play the most. But it really has some nice options in here. The ship itself isn't the greatest thing in the world. I think they really made the Defiant class underpowered for what it should be. Definitely need some more weapon slots as well as weapon options. Still waiting for that pulse phaser upgrade card that we should have got with the original Defiant, but still a decent amount of upgrades in here. Some useful stuff for Federation as well as cross-faction play. Definitely a must-buy if you're a Federation player and a collector of any kind. And if you're not one of those, then it's pretty much up to you whether you want to add it or not. And we'll see you in the next video.